Okay, let's be real for a second.
Let's do it.
We spend roughly a third of our lives asleep, right? Another third working, and the rest. The rest is usually just us trying to get from point A to point B without completely losing our minds.
Yeah, that's the daily grind.
Exactly, the routine, the architecture of our existence.
It really is the universal framework for all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you're a Fortune 500 CEO or, a struggling artist, you have a sequence of events that defines your 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And usually we just operate on autopilot. We don't really think about the routine. We just survive it.
Right, but today we are turning off the autopilot. We're going to completely deconstruct the day.
I'm ready.
And I have to admit, when I first saw the source material for this depth dive, I was pretty skeptical.
I don't blame you.
Because we usually look at dense research papers or investigative journalism, and today we're looking at a set of transcripts from an English learning series.
Yeah.
It's called Easy English Talk.
I know. It sounds incredibly dry on the surface. But bear with me here, because these transcripts, specifically episodes 1, 2, and 3, they are essentially a Trojan horse.
A Trojan horse for what?
For behavioral psychology.
Really?
Yeah. These scripts track two characters, Anna and David, through a full 24-hour cycle.
Okay.
And on the surface, sure, it's about teaching English vocabulary. But if you strip away the grammar lessons, what you actually have is a fascinating comparative analysis of two distinct neurotypes.
Okay, so we're not here to learn the difference between a noun and a verb.
No, definitely not.
We're here to watch two lifestyle archetypes basically battle it out.
Precisely. You have Anna, who represents the ideal. She's disciplined, structured. She has incredibly high executive function.
Right.
And then you have David.
David, my man David. David is the realist, or I don't know, maybe the chaotic neutral. Honestly, reading David's script felt a little like reading my own diary, which was
A little uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Well, you aren't alone there. So our mission today isn't to judge David, though we might a little bit, but to really look at the friction between these two modes of living.
Got it.
We're going to look at the granular differences in the text. Things like the massive psychological gap between waking up and getting up.
Oh, that's a big one.
Or the neurochemistry of checking your phone first thing in the morning.
All right, let's get into the weeds. We start where everyone starts, the awakening.
Based on episode 1.
Right, episode 1 of the source text. And right out of the gate, we have a time discrepancy. Anna is up at 6:45 a.m. David is up at 7 a.m. Now, to me, 15 minutes doesn't really sound like a life-changing amount of time. Is this actually significant?
It's not about the minutes, it's about the mindset.
How so?
Well, 6.45 usually implies an alarm set for a specific purpose, right? Maybe to maximize the morning. 7:00 is often the last possible moment alarm.
That makes sense.
But the real data point here isn't the actual time. It's what happens immediately after.
Right, the text.
Yes. And it says, I usually wake up at 6.45. But David says, I wake up at 7, but sometimes I go back to sleep.
The snooze button. The universal sign of, I am not ready for this.
It's actually worse than just not being ready.
Really?
Yeah, it's a physiologic thing. It's sleep inertia.
Okay.
When David hits snooze and drifts back off, he is starting a completely new sleep cycle that he won't be able to finish.
Oh, wow.
So when he wakes up again 10 minutes later, he's interrupting a cycle. That leads to much higher levels of grogginess than if he had just gotten up the very first time.
So he's actually sabotaging his own energy levels before his feet even hit the floor.
Exactly. And the text makes a really interesting distinction here that I think is quite profound for a simple language lesson.
What's that?
It explicitly defines wake up as opening your eyes and get up as physically leaving the bed.
That is the gap, isn't it? That's the danger zone.
That is exactly where the battle is won or lost. That gap is where friction lives.
Yeah.
Anna seems to have zero friction. Wake up, get up, boom.
And David?
David has high friction. He wakes up, but he doesn't get up. He retreats. And when he finally does move, look at his first action.
Oh, yeah, this one hurt to read. The text literally says, after I get up, I check my phone.
The modern human condition.
But why is this so bad? I mean, everyone does it. I do it. I want to know if the world ended while I was asleep.
It's terrible for your neurochemistry.
Really?
When you wake up, your brain is transitioning out of deep delta waves, moving into theta and alpha waves.
Yeah.
You're in a highly suggestible, relaxed state.
Okay, I'm following.
When David grabs his phone, he is blasting his brain with dopamine and cortisol. He's instantly putting himself into a reactive state.
So he's basically priming his brain for distraction.
He's outsourcing his attention before he's even had a glass of water.
Wow.
Now compare that to Anna. Her script reads, I stretch, brush my teeth, and wash my face.
It's very physical. She's connecting with her body.
Exactly.
David is connecting with the internet.
Right. She is grounding herself in physical reality. David is just plugging straight into the matrix.
Yeah.
And that physical grounding for Anna continues right into the bathroom. Which brings us to the great hygiene debate in the text.
Yes.
Anna takes a morning shower. Her reasoning is explicitly stated as, it helps me feel fresh.
Okay, but David says, I usually shower at night, and I have to say, I'm totally with David here.
Are you?
Yeah. Isn't there science backing the night shower? You wash off the day, the hot water lowers your core body temperature afterward, and it helps you sleep. Is David actually an accidental genius here?
You're definitely right about the sleep benefits of a night shower. However, in the context of this specific routine, we really have to look at the intent.
Okay.
Anna uses the shower as a state change. It's almost like hydrotherapy to wake up her nervous system. It's a clear signal to her body that performance mode has officially started.
And David?
Well, for David, the night shower combined with his rough morning suggests he's just rolling out of bed, maybe slightly sweaty, definitely not alert, and just dragging that grogginess straight into his day. He's completely missing that reset button.
So Anna is washing into the day, and David is just sort of existing.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And speaking of existing, you have to fuel the machine.
Yes, breakfast.
The breakfast choices in the text are fascinatingly stereotypical.
Anna eats oatmeal and fruit, which of course she does. It's like she's trying to be a stock photo of a healthy person.
It is boring, I'll give you that. But it's chemically smart. Complex carbohydrates, slow-release energy. She gets absolutely no glucose spikes from that.
And David, he eats toast and eggs, which honestly sounds delicious.
It is delicious. But catch the nuance in the script. He adds, sometimes I skip breakfast.
The chaos variable.
This is a huge problem. It's the inconsistency. When he skips breakfast, he's likely running purely on cortisol.
Which means?
His blood sugar is going to crash hard by 11 a.m., and that will severely impact his decision-making, his mood, and his focus. Anna is operating on a steady hum of energy. David is just riding a roller coaster.
Which perfectly explains what happens next, because eventually they actually have to leave the house. And this is where we see the mental toll of David's morning chaos really start to compound.
We're moving into the departure phase of episode 1 now. Anna says, after breakfast, I get dressed. Simple. Done.
And David?
The text says, it takes me 20 minutes to choose my clothes.
20 minutes. I mean, I've stood in front of a closet feeling uninspired before, but 20 minutes is the length of a sitcom episode. What is happening in his brain?
This is a textbook example of decision fatigue.
Okay, unpack that.
You start every day with a limited tank of executive function, basically.
Right.
Your willpower fuel.
Right.
Anna conserves hers by having a routine or a set system. David is burning a significant percentage of his daily brain power, just deciding between the blue shirt and the gray shirt.
So by the time he actually steps out the door, he's already cognitively tired.
Exactly. He is in a massive deficit, and he hasn't even started work yet.
Yikes.
And that underlying stress probably makes his commute feel much worse.
Let's look at that commute. Anna leaves at 8 a.m. and takes the subway. David leaves at 8:15 a.m. and drives. So Anna is in a communal space. She's maybe reading, maybe people watching. David is trapped in a metal box, fighting traffic.
And driving in traffic is scientifically known to spike cortisol levels.
So let's recap David's morning so far.
That's not great.
He disrupted his sleep cycle, blasted his brain with phone dopamine, skipped the wake-up shower, maybe skipped breakfast, burned his willpower on clothes, and now he is stressed out in traffic.
And he's late. Or at least he's later than Anna.
Right. And this completely sets the stage for episode 2 of the text, the 9 to 5. Because despite their drastically different mornings, the corporate system demands synchronization. They both start work at 9 a.m.
They do. But the way they start is completely different, and this is something I see in offices every single day.
What does David do first?
The script says, in the morning I check emails.
The inbox defense.
It's entirely reactive work. He is letting other people's priorities dictate his morning. He's basically playing whack-a-mole.
Contrast that with Anna.
She says, I attend meetings and talk to my colleagues.
Now, I know meetings get a bad rap, but here it implies collaboration. She's engaging with people.
Yes, and the text actually pauses here to define colleagues as the people you work with.
Which is a crucial distinction.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because for Anna, the workplace is a social ecosystem. She is actively building relationships. For David, who is just staring at his inbox, work is an isolated series of tasks. Honestly, He's lonely.
And probably hungry since he might have skipped breakfast.
Very true.
Which brings us to the most critical hour of the corporate day.
Yeah.
Lunch, noon. In the text, noon is explicitly defined as 12 p.m.
Right. Anna eats something light.
Smart move. Keep the blood flow in the brain, not the stomach.
In David, he admits to a very common sin. He says, I sometimes eat too much and feel sleepy.
The food coma.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have all been there. It's 1:30 p.m. You had the burger and fries, and now you are staring at a spreadsheet trying to physically hold your eyelids open.
It's basic biology. It's the postprandial dip.
Oh, what?
Postprandial dip. His parasympathetic nervous system is screaming at him to rest and digest, and it's pulling all the blood away from his brain
Ah, got it.
because he has absolutely no discipline with his diet. Remember, he skipped breakfast, so he's starving by noon. He overcompensates, overeats, and totally kills his afternoon productivity.
So the realist character is sabotaging his own paycheck, basically.
He's certainly making the work much harder than it needs to be. And you see this reflected in when they finish. Anna clocks out at 5:30 p.m. David finishes later at 6 p.m.
Is he working later because he's more dedicated? Or is he working later because he lost an entire hour to a food coma?
The evidence definitely points to inefficiency. He's likely just playing catch-up.
So they clock out, the workday is done, and this is where the divergence between them gets almost painful to read. We're entering the recovery phase.
This highlights the classic distinction between active recovery and passive recovery. Anna goes to the gym.
Which honestly sounds exhausting after a full day of work.
It sounds counterintuitive, yes. You think, I'm tired. Why would I go run on a treadmill?
Right.
But exercise releases endorphins. It regulates cortisol. It actually generates a second wind of energy. She is investing energy to get energy back.
And David,
His text says, I usually go home and watch TV.
the absolute path of least resistance.
It's purely passive consumption. He's numbing out. And while that feels really good in the moment, it doesn't actually recharge his battery at all. It just pauses the drain.
Wow.
And this flows right into dinner. Anna cooks at home.
Which gives her control over the ingredients, the process, all of it.
Exactly. David says, sometimes I order food.
Pure convenience.
Yeah.
Heavy on salt, fat, and expense.
And again, decision fatigue.
Oh, right.
By 7 p.m., David has completely run out of the ability to make choices.
Yeah.
He just wants the food to magically appear. He's a passenger in his own life at this point.
It's a bit tragic when you put it that way.
It is.
We're into episode 3 of the transcripts now, the evening wind down. And this is where I think Anna starts to show off just a little bit.
Haha. You mean when she says, I clean the kitchen and relax?
Yes. Who cleans the kitchen before relaxing? That is sociopathic behavior.
It's actually highly strategic.
How so?
She is paying it forward to her future self.
Yeah.
She knows that waking up to a dirty sink at 6:45 a.m. creates massive friction. By cleaning it now, she actively protects tomorrow's morning routine.
Okay, I can respect that. It's an act of kindness to her future self.
David, on the other hand, his script reads, I watch YouTube or talk to friends.
The algorithm claims another victim. He started the day on the phone, he ends the day on YouTube.
It's the ultimate consumption loop. But there's a specific psychological term for what David is doing right here, especially since we know he worked late.
Oh,
It's called revenge bedtime procrastination.
I love that term. That's where you stay up late doing nothing important because you feel like you didn't have any control over your day, right?
Exactly. You are trying to steal back some freedom from the night, but you're stealing it directly from your sleep time, which just guarantees that tomorrow will be miserable. It's a vicious cycle.
Which leads us to the final act. Bedtime. Anna reads the book.
Gold standard sleep hygiene. No blue light. Calming the mind.
David goes to bed at 11:30 p.m.
Which honestly isn't terrible, time-wise.
Yeah.
But look at the quality of his transition.
Yeah,
He's coming off a YouTube binge. His brain is buzzing with blue light and fragmented information. Anna is smoothly drifting off on a story.
And then the text does something hilarious. It asks his characters to summarize their entire day. And David's summary is, well, it's basically a lie.
It's fascinating. He summarizes his routine as wake up, have breakfast, go to work, exercise, go to bed.
He literally lists exercise, but the text clearly said earlier that he went home and watched TV.
He knows what the script should be. He knows the ideal routine. He just can't bring himself to actually live it. He is basically gaslighting himself in the summary.
That is so relatable, though. I mean, we all have that ideal version of the day in our heads, the one where we went for a run and ate a kale salad, even as we're physically wiping pizza crumbs off our shirt.
It proves that David isn't ignorant of what's good for him. He's just stuck. He's trapped in a high-friction loop.
So let's zoom out for a second and synthesize all of this. We have Anna's path, preparation, structure, paying it forward, active recovery. She's an absolute machine. But honestly, she sounds a little boring.
That is the primary critique of the ideal archetype.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel robotic. There's no serendipity in her day. There's no getting lost in a YouTube rabbit hole about 17th century watchmaking, which, is arguably a joy of life.
Exactly. David talks to friends. David has me time, even if it's completely unproductive.
But here's the massive trade-off. Anna feels fresh. David feels sleepy. Anna has agency. David has anxiety.
That's the kicker. It's not really about morality. It's about energy management.
Right. And the final instruction in the source text is meant directly for the learner, for you.
What does it say?
It says practice every day, even 5 minutes. And then it prompts you to say, every day I wake up at.
It forces you to fill in the blank. It basically forces you to name your own routine.
And that is the absolute core takeaway from all of this. You cannot optimize a system that you haven't defined.
Wow, yeah.
The text reminds us that sleep is very important. But most of us are David. We think we're just busy, but we don't realize we're actively designing a day that fights against us.
So we don't need to magically become Anna overnight. We don't need to start eating oatmeal if we absolutely hate oatmeal.
No, definitely not. But you can look at the friction points. If you're David, maybe just focus on the morning phone habit. Or just lay your clothes out the night before. Stop burning your precious willpower on socks.
Small tweaks. I like that a lot.
Just lower the activation energy for the good stuff and raise it for the bad stuff.
Well, it has been a wild ride through a very simple text. I don't think I'll ever look at my alarm clock the same way again.
Or your closet.
Oh, definitely the closet. 20 minutes is still haunting me.
Ah.
So here is a final provocative thought for everyone listening to mull over.
Let's hear it.
Imagine a court stenographer followed you around for the last 24 hours. They transcribed absolutely everything, every snooze button, every scroll through Instagram, every hesitation. If you read that script back, would it read like a manual for a highly efficient life? Or would it read like a comedy of errors?
And which character are you actually casting yourself as?
Definitely something to think about while you're staring at the ceiling tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Thanks for diving into this text with us.
See you next time.